YouTube. What's good? Whoa, we shot up to 8, 10. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. How's somebody give me a little shout out. How can you hear me? Good? Still getting used to this, and I'm trying to make sure that we good. Can y'all hear me okay? All clear. What's good, third chapter? Where you from? Where you tuning in from? It's good, Eric. Thank you for tuning in, my man. What we got on here? Just give it a few couple minutes. Clear. Leslie from Florida. Nice. Okay, third chapter from Maryland. Cool. I like to always I always say that my blog. What's up, Dwayne from Rochester, from the Rock? Eric. Hi, Davy. You the man. Thank you, my man. I appreciate it. From Rochester, no doubt. I always say that those of you familiar with my blog, and maybe some of you aren't, go check out Davy, the Davy V blog. It's on the Blogspot platform, which is Google. And I've had it a few years, and it gets really good traffic. Actually, the traffic column is right on the right-hand side. But on there, you could tell where people are, tuning in from. So, love the blog. Thank you, Eric. So with this YouTube thing, I'm just trying to gauge it. Again, I know I sound like a broken record, but I've had the channel for a few years and never really did anything with it. Had it kind of, just put a pin in it. And only recently have I started adding regular content. I believe we're almost at 3,700. We still got a long way to go, But I'm thankful for each and every one of you, all the supporters. What's up, Davy V? Love the channel. Keep up the great work. MD, what's good? Thank you. I appreciate it. Where you tuning in from, MD? I'm just kind of trying to gauge, where people are checking in from. You don't have to say specific, city or town if you don't want. That's fine. Just to get an idea. New York City, the Bronx. BX. No doubt. Thank you. Much love for the Bronx. Haven't been there in a while. Last time I was there was Fordham, Westchester. Family in Rochester. Thank you for what you do. Thank you, Leslie. I appreciate it. And thank you for tuning in. I wanted to touch base. Somebody reached out to me, and I'm trying my best so I don't go on this big rant. This is what I want to say. I have some favorite YouTubers, and actually my favorite YouTubers that I watch, the majority of them, to be honest, have nothing to do with cop watching or police. It's like I do this so much that sometimes I need to, change the tune, so to speak, and watch something else. I don't know if you can relate to that. But when you do something and you're so passionate about something, sometimes you need to take a break and just do something else altogether completely different. And the reason I was saying that is because one thing that's happened to me is, and I'm going to promise you guys that, guys and girls, that will not happen to you guys. And what I mean is there's certain YouTube channels that I've come to really like. And you get used to the videos and you can't wait for the next upload. And all of a sudden you realize that the person kind of just fell off the map, literally. Like they stopped adding content. Like, wait a minute, what happened? And that sucks, And for whatever reason, sometimes, thank you, Eric, haters just leave, please. I see them, but I'm totally going to ignore them, guys. These are losers, and I've said it before. And I'm at the point that I refuse to give them, even this right here is too much. And I'm at the point that I refuse to give these clowns any 15 seconds of fame, not even a second. So, you know, straight up, they losers, straight up losers. These, let me just say this, and then we'll move on. Let me just say this. All these trolls and all these losers are simply very lonely, empty people, okay, who don't have a life, literally. They have nothing better to do. They lack creativity. They lack passion. They lack the cojones to stand up for anything in life. So all they do, hey, bud, it's your local Canadian. I'm back. Thank you, Luke. Appreciate it. See, that's what I'm about right there, the love. Somebody from Canada. We got Maryland in the house. We got Florida in the house. We got the BX in the house. We got Rochester in the house. These losers, and I appreciate you guys defending me. I really do appreciate the love. But it's really, really better, and this goes for me. My father said, what's up? What's up, Mitch? Tell Frank I said what's good. Eric says they probably live in mommy's basement. Of course. And again, this is way, why don't you make your YouTube comments active? You lose supporters like that. What's up, DA Productions? I appreciate it, and you're right. And this is something that I've talked about a lot. I don't want to go into it in a lot of detail now. But the reason why I blocked comments, the last straw, was these same losers that I'm talking about. These same losers who lack the creativity and the cojones, and they can't be productive in life. So they basically, all they do is troll someone else. The last straw was that when I saw that they were creating channels, literally anonymous accounts, and I mean anonymous because it's not their real name. I don't hide. This is my real face. I own this shit. And what I mean by I own it is I've never hidden my name. I've never hidden, you know, my face. Those of you who follow my work, there is no hiding when I approach a cop. I don't wear a mask. So these losers have created accounts and YouTube channels. And the great Davy, Steven. What's good, Steven? From PA. We got Pennsylvania in the house. And these losers have basically created accounts with my name, like Davy V. So to answer your question, DA Productions, which is a great question, and trust me, I'm not happy with blocking comments. Doing good, brother. Thank you, Steven. Absolutely, I'm glad you're doing good, my man. Thank you for tuning in. So the thing with with YouTube is that, like a lot of these platforms I've noticed, just like Twitter, they don't really protect they don't really protect certain account users. And what I mean is, if you were to start an email right now, if a name is taken, you can't get that name, right? Well, YouTube, I've had at least 6 to 10, I'd say, yeah, about 6 to 10 different losers take on my name, my channel name, Davy V, and started there. Are police the bad guys, or the law or judges or superiors the bad ones? That's a good question. Give me a shout out, bro. I'm with it too. What's good, Edwin? Where you from, Edwin? Where you tuning in from? Thank you for tuning in. Do you think it's logical to conclude that there's serious corruption in the Rochester Police Department? Do we know how much money they make off civil forfeiture? They make a lot of money. Trust me. That's a great question, and it's something that I've talked about in the past. Rochester, New York Police Department is one of the most corrupt departments in the country. I'm gonna get to a little something about that a DWI case that's been in the news with a cop. But basically, like I said, Denver, Colorado. What's good, Edwin? Thank you, pa, for tuning in. Denver, much love. West Coast, West. So again, I'm not gonna even. They make millions off your people, bosses, Stephen and PA. Of course they do. So. And you see right now, you know what I mean, without even mentioning names, you see how they've basically taken the Davy V and they've made their own YouTube channels. And to me, that was like the last straw. The fact that YouTube is not protecting people that have a name. So right now, any channels that you guys have, anyone could come along and copy your name. Whereas if it was Google or Gmail or Yahoo or whatever, you know, if you have an original name, trademark the name. That's true. But it's not. My point is that YouTube allows these trolls. No doubt, Edwin. Much love. YouTube allows these trolls, these losers, like I said, who are typing away in their mom's basement. They allow them to basically copy a name. and then pass themselves off as the person. So I don't know. I'm probably more than likely going to be enabling comments again. And I know that's a long answer, DA Productions. I'm going to try to, enable them again. And I'll do it for the following reason. I think the channel is reaching a point of support with, with more and more subscribers. Like I said, we're almost at 3,700. There's legal issues if they are impersonating. You're right. You're right. Bunny Boots Inc. You're right, but it's very, very hard to prove. It's something, like I said, that unfortunately these platforms like YouTube, which is basically Google, Twitter, Facebook, they all basically they protect these losers. So, but that's okay. We'll let them write. See, here's my thing: the fact that they have this weird, just really, really disturbing fixation and obsession with me shows that they have, no life. They have like this love-hate thing. On one hand, they hate me. On the other, they can't stay away. So we're gonna welcome them to the channel and let them watch. So listen, shout out, we need people like you. Thank you. Shout out to all the new subscribers. Like I said when we first started, I think we're up to like almost 3,700. And, I know that doesn't seem like a lot. There's a long way to go. But it's a lot from the point where the channel was a few months ago. I think we were like at 1,287 or something. And again, for those of you that missed it, I always say this. I've had the channel for years. Just never really did anything with it. Just had it kind of like, I set it up. And I didn't really add content because the majority of my focus has been on my blog, which is the Davy V blog. And if you go on there, you see the traffic, and the traffic is just, really, really good from all over. I mean, overseas, from the UK, Australia. So check this out. I wanted to talk real quick. The more they say, the more people get to. Absolutely. Blog rules. Thank you, Eric. The blog is something I'm proud of, man. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I just kind of I don't want to give it up. I want to kind of combine both of them. Most folks, at least most folks that I have the experience of meeting, including myself, are more visual. And they like, I think, more a channel. You know what I mean? At times, I'm not a huge reader, which I'm kind of ashamed to admit. But a lot of folks, I believe, more and more now, there's so much content to be consumed on the internet that most people, I think, are visual. And they want to see something. They want to see a video. So I'm trying to basically kind of combine both of them. But definitely been working hard to get this channel really off the ground. So I'm thankful for each and every one of your supporters, of you guys. Check it out. I wanted to talk real quick about, those of you, especially from Rochester. It doesn't matter where you're from if you follow my work. So on Thanksgiving, there was a Rochester, New York police officer named Jeff McEntee. And he basically got so shit-faced drunk at a party in Greece, New York, which is a suburb of Rochester. And the reason I want to hit on this is because I've had several people reach out to me wondering why I hadn't spoken about this yet on here on my channel. I did, however, write a piece on my blog. So if you go to my blog right now, the Davy V blog, you will see that, you will see that it's the most recent story on there about the cops. So I'm not going to go into all the details, but I'll say this. Excuse me. So basically, I know it's going to sound a little weird, but I actually want to shout out, I believe in, giving credit where credit is due. And I have a lot of officers, whether they admit it or not, a lot have approached me. I have a lot of law enforcement officers who watch this channel, who read the blog, who follow my work. I'm not saying they're necessarily fans, but obviously it's no surprise that they. Hold on, David. Thank you for what you do. I'm so happy that you hold these guys accountable. My two uncles work for RPD, and they get upset about the videos. The message went off. If you want to copy paste it, resend it. I appreciate the love, though, man. I appreciate that. And speaking of RPD, I know you said that your two uncles work for RPD. Like I was saying, there's a lot of law enforcement officers that follow my work. And again, I'm not saying they're fans, but at the very least, you can say that, you know, I've piqued their interest, let's just say. I go hard at exposing a side of them that mainstream media and society tends not to focus on. So obviously let's just say that I got law enforcement's attention. And a lot of them, some of them have been cool. I've been approached by Monroe County, New York Sheriff Deputy Lane. He's a canine deputy. And, you know, actually thanking me for what I do. It's no secret. I was with my daughter a couple of weeks ago at Herman's Farm in Webster, New York. Those of you from the Rochester, New York, Webster, New York area that are familiar with Herman's Farm, little farm market, great cookies, great cider, great fry cakes. And I bumped into a New York State trooper who basically told me that, you know, he follows my work and, you know, he told me he's kind of like a fan. So, you know, they're welcome. I'm not going to be nasty and say you can't watch. Everybody's welcome on this channel. Even the trolls, which you see they're going hard and they're on overtime right now. I love it. But here's the thing. So this cop, I want people to go on the blog and read the blog. This cop basically, where I said I wanted to shout out some cops, is that every now and then, okay, every now and then I hear about officers who are at least trying to do the right thing. Thank you, Bunny. I appreciate that. Who at least are trying to do the right thing. And the reason I want to shout out certain police officers, especially Rochester, New York police officers in this incident right here, is because this cop got so drunk. He's an RPD investigator, a Rochester, New York police investigator. He was off duty. He was at a house party. He got so shit-faced drunk that he took his 3-year-old child, this innocent little boy, okay, his son, took him about 4 miles away, left the party with his son, drove about 4 miles away to his house, put the son to bed, then drove back to the party to continue his binge drinking, leaving the little boy alone for over 2 hours at home with no one around. Thank you, Nothing Star. Appreciate that. Yes, Stephen, it's crazy. Go on my blog. Leslie, no way. Yes, true story. And again, the cop was off duty. So here's the thing. So he comes back to the party. He keeps drinking. And who knows what else they were doing there. A while later, they realize, hey, where's the little boy? We haven't seen him in a while. No shit. Because a drunk fucking cop took him home and came back, blacked it all out in his mind, came back 4 miles one way, 4 miles back to continue drinking, and totally forgot about his son. So they left the boy literally. You've heard of the movie with Macaulay Culkin, Home Alone? This is really Home Alone. This is real shit. Edwin Lopez, me and my brother are the only Chicanos on my block. Neighbors and the cops don't like us. No doubt, man. Stand up for Latino, la raza, ya tú sabes. Davy V, my guy, what's up? What's good, Papa? Oh, the Leaf Capo. They were super aggressive with me and dislocated my arm. Hit me up. Inbox me. Get at me. I'm all over Facebook. And you know, tell me what happened to you, Edwin. And I'm sorry you went through that, my brother. But reach out to me. Find me on my Facebook, my blog. Buddy. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you guys sticking up for me on here with these losers. These trolls. But yeah, Edwin, get at me, you know. I want to hear what happened to you. And I'm sorry you went through that. So back to this cop thing, he basically drives back to the party, continues drinking. They realize the kid is missing. Check this out. For those of you that are not familiar with the story. Gets back to the party, continues drinking. They realize the kid is gone. So they all start obviously looking for the kid, right? Which is crazy because, again, he took him home a couple hours earlier. So the cops are called. And this is Greece, New York, which is, again, a suburb of Rochester. Greece is actually a huge town. It's one of the biggest suburbs in the country, if not the biggest. The population is at least 100,000. We all support you, Davey. I appreciate it, Eric. Much love. I appreciate it, my brother. I really do. Thank you for those kind words. So Greece is basically a huge suburb. Years ago, they wanted to try to make it a city. And basically, the cops show up, and it's a Greece police department. Now, because this is an off-duty Rochester, New York police officer, and please don't misunderstand this, because the important part is that the little boy is safe. So please understand where I'm coming from when I say this. But because it's not your son, because it's not my child, okay? Because it's a cop's child, the level of response was crazy. I'll put it like this. 37 Rochester, New York police officers responded within a few minutes to Greece, New York, which again is out of their jurisdiction. And again, I don't knock them. The important thing was they were looking for a child, okay, an innocent child, that the father unfortunately misplaced. So they have a total of 75 officers at one point. 37 Rochester police officers, New York State troopers, Greece, New York police officers, and the Monroe County, New York Sheriff's Office, which up here is Monroe County. They're looking everywhere. A neighbor next to the party, to the house where the party was, volunteers their video footage. And in the video footage, they see a shadowy figure walking, leaving the house with a young child, with the little boy, okay? And the father, the RPD investigator who's off duty, Jeff McEntee, his mother arrives at the house when she learns that her grandson's missing. He turns to her and asks her, could that be me? Now, how fucking drunk can you be, okay, to ask your mother, can that be me? Is that figure in the video me bringing out my son? He didn't even know. He had no fucking clue. That's how smashed he was. So the mother looks to him and says, yes, it could be. Long story short, one of the RPD captains who had some sense in his head, they searched the house, his house, again, 4 miles away from the party, and they find the little boy, thank God, safe and sound, tucked in bed, sound asleep, all alone. Back at the house, Jeff McEntee's, Rochester, New York police officer Jeff McEntee's wife and family members motherfucking the cops, telling the cops all kind of F-bombs and get the fuck out of here, and it's crazy. And again, these are police officers, fellow police officers. So here's my thing, who are there to look for the child. And obviously he's not cooperating. It's turned into a so-called investigation, which is really police investigating themselves. They didn't ticket him for drunk driving. They didn't do anything. He lawyered up. He's not talking. And again, you can read the whole story on my blog, the Davy V blog. But my point is this. The reason I want to shout out some of the officers, and I don't know their names, is because some of the officers were furious. They were furious that this fellow cop got drunk and not only drove drunk with his son, but literally forgot where he put his kid. And they were furious because they were working what's called the 4th platoon. And the 4th platoon ends about 3 in the morning, 2:33, sometime about 2 in the morning. So after they were done, instead of them going home, this is Thanksgiving, the morning after Thanksgiving, right? So it's early Friday morning. Instead of these police officers being able to go home to their families, right? They have their own families, right? They have their own children. They respond after they're supposed to get off. They respond, a good 8 miles away from the city to Greece. And not that they regretted it because, again, they were looking for a little boy. But they were looking for a little boy while not having any idea at all, any clue, that it was the irresponsible actions of one of their fellow officers who got so fucking drunk and drove drunk with his 3-year-old son in the car and left him home alone before coming back. Who the fuck leaves their own kid alone? Who does that? So I want to shout out the officers who were so pissed off, literally. According to the person that I got to give him a little credit here, the person that broke the story on Rochester News here is an individual who's very pro-cop, very pro-police. Bob Lonsberry. He's a radio show host here in Rochester. And he's like buddy with the cops. So basically the cops, many of the RPD officers contacted him to express their frustration at the fact that they felt that the irresponsible actions of this Jeff McEntee, of their fellow officer, right, their colleague, should have warranted him being in handcuffs and him being arrested that night. So these are cops that were so pissed off that they felt this cop should have gone to jail. So for that alone, I want to say thank you to these officers. Because we hear about the blue line, we hear about the thin blue line, we hear about the blue wall, the code of silence, and all that is more than real. That exists. But at least there were some officers there who realized that this cop got special treatment, that this cop did not leave in handcuffs. There were cops there that realized that wrong is wrong, and that were disgusted that one of their fellow officer basically abandoned his own kid and went back to a party. First of all, who drives drunk with their child, right? Who does that shit? Second of all, who drives 4 miles away, drops their kid, their 3-year-old child, alone in a home, and then leaves the home again to go back to continue to drink? That's exactly what this cop, Jeff McEntee, did. And again, I want to give a shout out to these officers who recognize that wrong is wrong, and that they themselves recognize the special treatment that this cop received. One of their fellow officers, one of their fellow Rochester, New York police officers. So is it going to be a huge change? I mean, I don't see it. You know, a cop is always going to protect a cop. But the fact that a good amount of these officers there that came to help find an innocent child before learning what had really happened, you know, the irresponsible actions of one of their own. They didn't arrest him. Great question. They didn't arrest him because that's what cops do. You know, they look the other way. Now it blew up. Now it's out in the media. Now this guy Lonsberry reported on it. I wrote a little bit something on it. The media grabbed it. Now they're doing an investigation. The blue line. Absolutely, Stephen. The blue line. So, you know what I mean? It's crazy. So check this out. And this is crazy because since I'm on my phone, I can't read. Look what I got here. It's my daughter's iPod. I'm going to read. Give me 1 second here. We're going to do like a little, not so much a Q&A, but there's some messages that I do receive. Even though I have comments blocked. Leslie. Even though I have comments blocked. Yeah, Leslie, ignore these trolls. Ignore these losers. Hello, my lunch break is over now. I got to clock back in, Davy. Much love, big homie. No doubt, Edwin, and get at me. So right now, I'm going to read a couple, little comments that people have messaged me. And again, even though I have the comments blocked, they reach out to me on an email. They'll leave a comment on like the main YouTube page, a message, I mean. So Jerry Patterson, Davy, I love you, man. I appreciate it, Jerry. Nicholas Buck, I hope you get sued for harassment. Nick is obviously let's give Nick a welcome on the Davy VTV channel. Nick is obviously a bootlicker, so he hopes I get sued for harassment. Nick, are you American? Are you an American citizen? Okay. If you're an American, what is it that you're saying exactly? In essence, you're saying that you hope I get sued for what? I'm a fellow American. I was born right here in the United States, right here in Rochester, actually. So what are you really saying, Nick? Are you saying that as an American, you are against another American exercising his First Amendment right to free speech? You know, is that what you're saying? But thanks for the message, Nick, and thank you for watching the channel. Now here, this is my man, and I don't mean to put him on blast, but I love this dude. The support from the West Side, right from the neighborhood that I grew up. So G Rock Blues, and this is a while back, And this is a message that I received. All pigs know they are above the law. They answer to no one. I love it when you see in the news that a hero has taken out a pig. Now, here's my thing. As much as I appreciate the support from G-Rock, and, you know, he's in my old neighborhood, Ghost Town, J Street, Rochester's West Side, I can't agree with you on that, my brother, because, you know, the work that my dad did for years, the work that I've done, and my passion, which is in many ways continuing my dad's work, never have I or will I condone anyone being killed. And that goes for a police officer. I mean, that's just something that I don't go to that line. I stopped well before that, and I don't wish that on anyone. But, you know, again, that's a comment that I just kind of wanted to make clear, because I hear that a lot, and that's something that that's something that I don't condone. So Mike says, Davy, do you think there are good cops? We'll have to leave that for another video. Remember me, Davy? Jose Martinez from La Voz del Pueblo. Oh, my God, Jose, of course. I've been trying to get at you, man. Please contact me, please. I need to talk to you. Jose Martinez used to be with my dad, a local producer here in Rochester. Really, really good man. And he just commented on here. Jose, look me up on Facebook, on Davy V. I run the RPD Exposed, Rochester, New York Exposed page, Monroe County, New York Exposed, Cops Live Record Everything Exposed, Davy VTV Facebook. I run them all. So please get at me. Back to this thing. Do you think there are good cops? Mike messaged me. Here's my thing. That's a hard one. And the easiest way I could, if Mike is watching, if he's not watching live now, obviously he can watch later as the video will stay up. The easiest way I can answer that is this. I used to really want to believe that there were good cops, but here's my problem. When I was in school, I was the one that, you know, always with the in crowd, with the cool crowd, the papi chulo, how we say in Spanish, right? The one thing I couldn't stand is basically bullying. The little white kid with the thick Coke bottle lenses, and, you know, that would get thrown in the dumpster or get hit with eggs on Freshman Friday, right? Get thrown in the garbage can on Freshman Friday, which I'm sure a lot of you remember. I was the one that would basically intervene and stick up for the kid. So where am I going with this? What does it have to do with good cops? Well, it's simple. Excuse me. I used to think that there were good cops. I still want to believe that. But it gets harder and harder to believe that, because here's my thing. How can there really truly be good? Okay? Good meaning good intention cops if they see abuse being committed by their fellow officers, by their partners, by their colleagues, by their fellow brothers and sisters in blue, right? And do nothing about it. Think about that. That would be the same, to me that's the same, if you are not intervening and if you are not speaking out against abuse, then you are basically, in my opinion, just as guilty, just as culpable as the bully. You don't have to be the bully to be guilty. The fact that you're not doing anything and that you're not intervening is just as bad. It makes you just as bad as the bully. So back to Mike's question, do you think there are good cops? That's a hard one. I can tell you this, I don't believe what I used to believe. I believe, yes, 100% I believe there were good cops. I've met cops who I want to believe are good, and they all give me the same answer. When I say, listen, how can you look the other way? How can you know there's abuse and do nothing about it? And I get this runabout, you know, run-of-the-mill kind of standard, kind of like rehearsed answer, which, you know, just proves to me that, I don't know, Mike, if you're watching it, you know, I don't know. I mean, I'm sorry to give you a long answer like that. I really don't know, to be honest with you. And that's why I don't know. Again, how can you be a good cop but condone abuse by your fellow officers? That doesn't make you a good cop then. That makes you just as bad as the person committing the abuse, as the person racially profiling citizens. So if you're in a group that does wrong and may stay quiet, you are wrong too. True. Of course, Leslie. Absolutely. It makes you just as, you know, just as guilty. So Tony writes, Davy, big fan from Houston. What cameras do you use, and can you make a video on the gear you use? Cops, dirty secret is they get a prescription for Adderall, which allows them to have a dirty UA for meth. That's deep. I'm sorry if I missed some of these comments when I'm reading, guys. I apologize. But I appreciate it. We got a nice little crowd. I appreciate the love. Everybody's tuning in. I really do. Before I forget, like I always tell people, it's your time. I appreciate and I'm thankful of you guys taking your time, because it is. We're up to 36 minutes. We may go, I don't know, close to an hour or something. We'll see how it goes. But again, it's your time and I appreciate it. I was engaged to a cop that half her department did this. Cousin Pete 420. Of course. You probably got some stories, Cousin Pete. Leslie, you're welcome. Thank you. So again, let me read this. I'm sorry. It's a good question. I like Tony's question. So Davy, big fan from Houston. What cameras do you use, and can you make a video of the gear you use? That's a good one. And actually, Tony, that video is on deck. I've been thinking about doing it. As far as the main camera I use, to be honest, I'm very big on, it's not the latest, greatest. I don't believe you need to have the, you know, $10,000 camera, whatever, to do this. Everything you guys see on this channel, everything, up to this point at least, has been shot on my iPhone 6S Plus. Keep on keeping on, Davy V. Thank you, Flower Girl Deb. Where you from, Flower Girl? News. Now Houston has a great video on the equipment he uses. Cousin Pete. I gotta laugh at some of these fucking losers, man. And again, guys, ignore these trolls. Ignore them. How sad, let me just say this, even though, you know, I know I said I wasn't, but how sad can an individual be that they have to get on my brand, my platform, my channel, because this is what this is right here. This is my platform. That they can't have their own platform. Leslie, may I ask your Facebook page? My Facebook page is Davy V. I also run RPD Exposed, Rochester, New York Exposed, Cops Lie, Record Everything, Davy VTV, all those Facebook pages. But honestly, how sad are these losers? You're welcome, Leslie. You're welcome, and thank you for tuning in. And of course, my blog, Leslie, the Davy V blog. How sad can these losers be that they lack the creativity? That they lack the creativity to start their own channel. You know, to start their own movement. They can't. They can't do that. It's really, it's pathetic. It really is. You almost got to feel sorry for these people. You really do. Losers. Absolute losers. So as far as the camera, like I said, the main camera I use, what you're watching is on right now, is those losers just to serve. Oh, man, it went off. These go off quick. The main camera that you're seeing on right now is my iPhone 6S Plus. I also have a couple of GoPros. I don't use those too much, to be honest with you. I usually set those up in my car. You know what? Another tool, though, that I haven't talked about, just a little preview. I'm not going to talk about it too much. Anyone interested in doing any kind of documenting, cop watching, whatever you want to call it, invest in one of these. This is a oldie but a goodie right here. This is a Uniden 30 channel, 10 band radio, and I get all frequencies. Davey, thank you for your knowledge and powerful voice for the city of Rochester, Joka. Absolutely, Mama. Thank you for tuning in. Can't really chat much in the middle of cooking. Uh-oh, what you cooking? But thank you for stopping by. So this is right here, one of the best tools. And yeah, that's true. There's ways to encrypt them, but they always work for me. I know they can block certain things, and police have private channels, and plus they communicate on their cell phones too. But this right here is an oldie but a goodie. I've had this for years, and it's faithful right here. Uh-oh, the screen closed on me. I'm sorry. I'm almost done with these questions here. Okay, we got a comment from Miami, which everybody knows, or a lot of you know. I was born in Rochester, spent the first part of my life in Miami. Miami's more like my adopted hometown. I love the 305. Anybody watching from Florida? Somebody was earlier. Love Miami, love 305. Calle Ocho, you know. I watched your channel, and I got to say you're a legend. Thank you. There are lots of channels on YouTube with so-called cop watchers, but you are in a class by yourself. Much respect from the 305, Sonia. Well, thank you very much, Sonia. That's very nice. I appreciate the kind words very much. Thank you. Oh, this is an interesting one. We got something overseas here. Davy V, the cops here in the UK can be assholes, but nothing like the U.S. I have just about watched every one of your videos, and I must say the arrogance of the Rochester police officers that you expose is disgusting. Davey, I've been thinking on whether cops can make it into seeing. Don't lie on your neighbor. That's a deep one too. That's deep. I'm sorry it went off before I could finish reading it. But I get your point. So let me read this again. I'm sorry. Davey V, the cops here in the UK can be assholes, but nothing like the US. I have just about watched every one of your videos, and I must say the arrogance of the Rochester police officers that you expose is disgusting. Keep up the good work. John, a fan across the pond. Nice. It's comments. See, this is what these fucking losers, this is what you losers don't understand. It's comments like this, which completely diminishes anything you losers have to say. Anything. We got someone from the UK reaching out and showing Davy V some love. I love that. Last one for now I'm going to read is, Davy, you should get some t-shirts for your fans. It could be a great way for your fans to support. Mary. That's a good idea, Mary. I've thought about it. Thought about also just giving some, giveaways. Making it fun. You know what I mean? I'm not sure how we would do that, but I've seen other channels where they do giveaways, and that'd be fun. So, let's see here. I didn't understand that one. Oh, man. Let me drink some water. Huh. So, listen. We're coming up on like 45 minutes. I want to thank each and every one of you. I want to thank the new subscribers. A lot of people that may not be familiar with, my work can go to the Davy V blog. And by the way, there is over 700 videos on this channel. Okay? And a lot of people maybe don't realize it. I don't know how it looks. I know on my mobile, device, like my phone and tablets I use, the channel obviously appears different than if you view it on a desktop. But I believe on YouTube on a desktop, you go all the way to the bottom of one page, and it's got the numbers at the bottom, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. So again, there's 700, at least more than 700 videos. I think about 750 something, almost about 750 or 60 videos. So that's a lot of videos. So check those out. I want to get into maybe a little routine where we do a live stream, maybe like a Q&A thing. I love interacting, you know what I mean, with each of you. And here's the thing that I don't know if I got off track earlier. Back to that thing where we all have our favorite YouTubers, including myself, and then I get like pissed off sometimes when I go on and I'm like, what? Like, what happened to this person? They were making videos and all of a sudden it's like they fell off the map. I can promise each and every one of you that that's not going to happen here. You know, there may be days, when there's no video, but no matter how big this channel gets, and I hope obviously it blows up, there's a lot of work left to do. 3,700, which we're coming up on, is not, a huge amount, but I'm thankful for each and every one of the supporters. And again, a lot of videos on here for you guys to watch. So I can promise you that that's not going to happen. I can promise you that you're not going to tune in one day and say, this guy hasn't made a video in, a month or something. That's not going to happen. There will be, maybe some ebbs and flows where, where there may be a little break. But I really, really especially like these live streams. You need some moderators, Davy. Absolutely. Ribbit, do you want me to show you? Do you want me to show you your girl? And by the way, you could help me with the moderating. Do you want me to show you your girl? Let's see if Ribbit comes back on. Yes! All right, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I'm sorry. I know there was a long break. There she is. Just say hi. Say hi to YouTube. Pumpkin, look, somebody shouted you out. Somebody shouted you out. For those of you not familiar, this is my little baby. Look at Leslie. Leslie says, "Oh." Say hi. Give the trolls the middle finger. Say, "Get a life, trolls. Get off my daddy channel. You can't be him. You can't be Davy V." OMG, too much cuteness. That's my baby. See? Say hi. Say hi. Pumpkin is a Chinese dwarf hamster. Animals know good people. Absolutely. Say hi to Cousin Pete. Say hi to the people. Say hi to all the YouTube fans. Say, "Cops Live, record everything. Cops Live, record everything." All right, guys, hold on. Let me put it back. Bright lights. All right. So you gave a little shout out to so listen guys, we're on 50 minutes. Again, I want to thank each and every one of you, and I promise, you know, I'll do more and more of these videos, of these live stream, which I really like because what's up, Davy, from sunny Southern California? What's up, Orange County 714? Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in from Cali. Davy, would you go out to Cali for a poetic court day? Thanks for all you do, Davy. What's good, Scott? I haven't seen you in a while, Scott. Steven, to answer your question, I've had a lot of invites, man. I've never been out to the West Coast. You know, I'm not making any money with this channel. You see that I don't even have it monetized. It's not really about that for me. I'd love to go out to Cali, man. I love, you know, Central California, Sacramento. I'd love to go out there, you know, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get out there for his court date. I did chat with him a little bit. I actually showed him some love. I sent him a few dollars. I haven't heard back. I don't even know if he received it, but yeah, I'm aware of everything going on with Poetic. So again, guys, we're gonna try to get on a little schedule here. I don't like the word schedule, but what I mean is I want you guys to look forward to these live videos, and you know, and again, just ignore these losers. You know what I mean? You really, honestly, you don't owe these losers anything, just as I don't. But you almost got to really feel sorry for certain folks that a drone. That's a good idea. I like that idea. I've been thinking about it, but a lot of stuff I want to do. You know what I mean? But the important thing is you guys are what keep me going, what keep me motivated. Even the trolls, if they knew how much they actually helped me, trust me, they'd stop. They'd stop. They have no idea. If you want me to moderate, I'll do it for moderate. Absolutely. You need to hit me up on my Facebook, Ribbit. Hit me up on my Facebook. Absolutely. Pleasure. I'm glad you enjoyed hanging too. Listen, we're coming shy of an hour. Wish I had money to support your trip to the West Coast. I appreciate it, Orange County. Maybe one day I'll make it out there. And thank you for tuning in. So please look forward to more videos. Thanks for the love. And have a blessed night. Absolutely. Trolls make you bigger. Thank you, Scott. Trust me, they have no idea. They have no idea how much they motivate me. Peace and have a good night. You too, Cousin Pete. Thank you, Leslie. Same to you. Cheers at Davy VTV. Much love. Thank you, Real Jingy. I appreciate each and every one of you. You know what I mean? Catch you next time. Keep safe. You too, man. Be safe, everyone, and thank you for the love. Thank you for tuning in. Oh, hold up. Secret box. Love from the desert. Southwest Tucson. Wow. Tucson, Arizona. Again, I've never been out on the West Coast, but I'd love to visit there one day. Thank you, guys. I mean it. I mean it. You know what I mean? I can't really put into words how good it feels just to have everybody tuning in from all over the U.S. and overseas, you know. We got a lot of, you know, channels getting a lot of love from everywhere. I really appreciate it. More stuff coming soon. Check the channel again. I'm not going to be doing these live streams every day, but there's a lot of other good videos. Over 700 videos on this channel. Thank you for tuning in again. I'm from Rochester. Keep up the fight, bro. Thank you, Secret Box. Absolutely. No doubt. 585. Again, check out the channel. 700 plus videos. Thanks for the love. Until next time. Good night.